It begins here, in County Galway, on Ireland's rugged west coast. For centuries, the Fay family made their home here among the fields and stone walls near Loughrea, a medieval town founded by Anglo-Normans in 1236. This is Rathready, a townland of farms that has seen countless generations come and go. Today it's quiet, but the stones remember. By 1200 AD, Galway was a city of trade and power, ruled by merchant families known as the 14 Tribes. Outside its stone walls lived Gaelic Catholics, among them the Fays. The name Fay comes from O Fathay, meaning base or foundation. The clan's first known bearer, Cormac O Fathay, lived in the 10th century, but his descendants built a legacy that would span oceans. Here, near Loughrea, a 4-story tower house still stands, built in the 15th century by the Mac Hubert Burkes, later owned by Sir Thomas Reddington, a statesman. It overlooks the same soil the Fays farmed for generations. Today that land belongs to Paddy Fahey, who still tends sheep where his ancestors once prayed for rain and harvest. The castle, as it's called, is still in remarkable condition. Abandoned in 1839 after the Night of the Big Wind, a terrible hurricane that killed hundreds. The rock and mortar structure, its winding staircase, fireplaces, windows and floors remain intact. For 500 years, the family's story was one of endurance, through clan wars, English rule and sustenance farming. But nothing tested them more than the famine that came in the mid-19th century. In 1845, a mysterious fungus blackened Ireland's potato crop, the only food that sustained millions of poor families. Year after year, the blight returned, and the ruling English ignored the problem. The result? Starvation and disease that claimed over 1 million lives. Those who could leave, left. Many even had their costs of passage paid by rich landlords, trying to avoid sustaining poor families on small failing farms. So entire families migrated to America, aboard overcrowded coffin ships, for a journey that lasted well over a month. Among the countless names on those passenger lists was Martin Fahey, a 54-year-old farmer from Rathready. He, wife Anna and 6 of his 7 children boarded the packet ship Racer. During their voyage, they even endured a hurricane that threatened the ship and broke 2 of its masts. All 8 of them arrived in New York on March 29, 1852. Weary, but alive. That day, a new chapter began at Ellis Island when the Fays dropped the H to become the Fay family in America. Tarrytown, New York, a quiet village along the Hudson River, is where many Irish immigrants arrived looking for opportunity and a place to call home. Martin and his sons found work as stonemasons, shaping rock and building structures for the Hudson River Railroad. Hard labor, long days, little pay, but it was honest work, and it was theirs. In 1853, James C. Fay married Bridget Delia Murray. A year later, their first child, Martin Matthew Fay, was born, the first of the American Fays. They lived close to family and the growing Irish Catholic community along the Hudson River. But like so many immigrants, they dreamed of owning land, something scarce in New York. After saving their hard-earned money, that dream would lead them west. In 1858, the Fay family packed their belongings and headed west, by wagon to through the Cumberland Gap, then by flatboat down the Ohio River. Women and children rowed steamboats, while the men guided heavy cargo and horses by hand. Their journey ended in Mays Lick, Kentucky, a small farming community known for its abolitionist roots and deep Catholic faith. By 1860, James C. Fay had settled in Mays Lick with his family, working as a day laborer. His brother Patrick, just 15, hauled barrels and freight by wagon. In the fertile Kentucky hills, the family built roots. They worked hard, worshipped together, and raised children who would carry their faith forward. James's eldest son, Martin Matthew Fay, grew up in this small but thriving Irish Catholic community. In 1878, he married Mary Agnes Coughlin from a prominent local family, beginning a partnership that would span 60 years and raise 8 children. Martin Fay embodied the American spirit. With little schooling, he became a farmer, stonemason, miller, and eventually an entrepreneur, running a saloon and coffee house on 2nd Street in Maysville. He adapted to every need of a growing town, always providing for his family of 8. But by the century's end, opportunity was shifting north, to a booming city on the Ohio River. Around 1899, Martin moved his family to Cincinnati, Ohio, the Queen City of the West. Factories, railroads, and construction work promised steady income for men who knew stone and sweat. They settled in the West End, a neighborhood alive with immigrants. Irish, German, and African-American families lived side by side, raising children amid the sounds of horse-drawn streetcars and church bells. Martin's sons joined him in masonry and construction. His daughters found work in laundries and carriage shops. Each generation climbed a little higher. By 1910, a new chapter was unfolding. Walter William Fay, one of Martin's sons, married Anna Irene Delaney. Walter spent some time in the military and later was a salesman of plumbing and hot water heaters to support his family. Their son, Walter Frank Chappie Fay, was born in 1914, the youngest of 3 children. Chappie grew up in the Price Hill neighborhood, a world of porch conversations, ball games on the radio, and family gatherings. The Fays lived above the Crow's Nest, the neighborhood's Irish pub. He learned early the values of humor, hard work, faith, and devotion that had carried his family across centuries. In 1937, Chappie married Mary Grace Richter. Over the next 2 decades, they raised 7 children: Mary Ann, Patty, Michael, Kathy, Timmy, Peggy, and John. He worked hard, first as a milk truck driver, then as a metropolitan life insurance agent. He wore a crisp hat and tie, loved a friendly poker game, and shared laughter that filled his home. Chappie died suddenly in 1957 at just 42, leaving behind a young family and a legacy of kindness, community, and resilience. Luckily, he had bought a life policy for his family from his employer, Metropolitan Life. Today, the Fay family stretches all across America, raising families and building success in whatever they pursue. From Rathready to Tarrytown, from Mays Lick to Cincinnati, the Fay family's journey spans continents and centuries. Through famine and fortune, they carried faith, hope, and love, the true foundations of a family.